In today's video, we are going to be looking at the homes that have sold in the past year that have the largest home sites here in the Lowcountry. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned because we're getting after it right now. Do you want to know everything there is to know about the South Carolina Lowcountry, whether it's Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, or Jasper County? Then subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know about everything happening here. My name is David Simcox, host of this channel and a local real estate agent. I get calls and emails every day from people just like you and you and you looking to make their move here, and I absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 3 days, 3 months, or even 3 years, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can even book a Zoom call, all in the description below, so I can help you find your Lowcountry lifestyle. Now, I get calls all the time from people moving from outside the area, whether it's New York, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, the Midwest, even Europe. And a lot of times they say, David, here's my wish list. I want this and this and this and this, and I don't want to be right on top of my neighbor. I don't want to reach out the kitchen window and be able to touch the next door neighbor. I want some breathing room. I want some land. I want some privacy. I don't want to see my neighbors. And unfortunately, a lot of times that doesn't exactly exist here because a lot of the homes are in these planned communities that have amenities. And so a lot of the lots are smaller, and that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, though. So there are some homes on some home sites that are larger. And if we look back in the past and we see what has sold, you'll get a good idea for what could come available if this fits the bill for what you're looking for. So we're going to go into each of the areas. We're going to look at Bluffton. We're going to look at Jasper County. We're going to look at Hilton Head Island, and we're going to look at Beaufort and Ladies Island area. And we're going to see what has sold that has a big lot. Okay. And again, maybe this matches up with what you're looking for. So without further ado, we're going to jump inside my computer. So the first area that we're going to look at is Bluffton. And Bluffton is right here next to Hilton Head Island. My office is right in downtown Bluffton, right here in Old Town. And the first thing you're going to notice, I put in a criteria of anything with more than 3 acres. And that could be 3 acres all the way up to, 20, 30 acres. And the first thing you're going to notice is there's not that many sales that happen in the past year that fit that criteria. There's only 7 properties that sold that have more than 3 acres. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and look because they do exist. And if that's what you want, then just know that they are out there, but you'll have to be ready to jump on them if and when they come available. So let me go into the results here, and I'll start with this one. This is actually in Palmetto Bluff. And I think this might be the largest lot sold in the past year. And Palmetto Bluff is an ultra luxury neighborhood. They've got golf courses. They've got their own shops and dining. They've got a marina, they've got a boat club, they've got a shooting club, they've got equestrian centers, they've got all kinds of amazing amenities and things to do. It's a private club, and there's also an ultra exclusive resort out there called the Montage. So if you want to go stay out there and experience it, that'll give you a little taste for what life at Palmetto Bluff can feel like. But this home here actually had 15.51 acres. And this was, I think, the largest out of all the homes. This one had the largest lot. And this one is a 9,000 square foot home. And if we scroll down, we can actually see what it sold for. So it was on the market for $7,795,000, and it sold for $6.8 million. So they did get a pretty good deal on this, but let's just look at a few of the photos so you can see exactly what you get for the money in that price point. So it looks like you almost had your own private island out here. You've got some water views of the May River, I believe. And look at that. It's just absolutely exquisite. You've got these gorgeous oak trees draped in Spanish moss, which is what everybody dreams of. You've got your own private gate. Of course, Palmetto Bluff has its own private gate to get into the community, but there are other sections of Palmetto Bluff that are behind separate private gates, and there's gates behind gates, as you can see here. So extremely private, extremely exclusive. And this, to me, is a dream home. I absolutely love this place. So much character. It's so unique. And again, I won't show you every photo. I'm just giving you a little taste. And if you want to look this one up on Zillow or Realtor.com, you can actually scroll through and you can see all the various photos. But this right here is creme de la creme in the low country. But let's go ahead and keep moving on to the next one. This one also is in Palmetto Bluff. And this one is, let's see, this one was on 3.02 acres, so a bit smaller than the last one. And this one, let's see, was on the market for $8,495,000 and sold for $6 million. So somebody got a good deal on this one. Let's look at a few of the photos just to see exactly what you get for the money out here. 1, 2, 3, 4-car garage. You've got this beautiful wraparound paver driveway here. Again, view of the May River, which is unbelievably gorgeous. The May River is the crown jewel of Bluffton. And you've got these Savannah bricks here on the fireplace, big vaulted ceilings, open concept living. And I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. But again, you've got more Savannah bricks here on the back porch. And again, you just have to have the pocketbook that allows this to happen. You've got great outdoor living space, beautiful gourmet kitchen. And again, I'm not going to go into all the details here and all the photos because I want you to be able to go explore this one on your own if you want to look it up on Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulia or wherever you like to look at real estate. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this one is in an area called Gascoigne Bluff. This is a really unique area because there's usually only one, maybe two homes that sell in this community every year. And it's right off of May River Road. And this is 3.5 acres. Now, the interesting thing on Gascoigne Bluff, before I go into the details on this property, is it's right off of May River Road. And if I zoom out here, it's literally just a road that comes off of May River Road, which again, downtown Bluffton is right over here. That's the historic district. And Gascoigne Bluff just goes right here along this road. And there's these different various really big lots. And there's no amenities out here. So there's no golf course, there's no pool, there's no fitness center. There's, really nothing to speak of other than the fact that it's all super big private lots, like 2, 3, 4, 5-acre lots all along the river. They all have private docks and they all come with very expensive price tags, at least expensive for our area. And it feels very rural out there. I've driven around out there and seen wild turkeys running around and deer and all kinds of wildlife. So extremely private, and definitely you feel as soon as you turn on this road, you feel like you are 30 miles out into the country. You'd never know that you're right outside of downtown Bluffton. But anyway, so this is 7,556 square feet on 3.5 acres. And this one was on the market for $5.995 million, sold for $5,850,000. It was only on the market for 9 days. And I think that's important to note because these Gascoigne Bluff properties usually only like one hit the market per year, if that. So when they do hit the market, a lot of times people jump on them. Let's look at a few photos. So you've got this gorgeous pool overlooking, look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Overlooking the May River. You've got your own private dock out here. You've got your hot tub. And very, very nice. You've got the tabby shell, which is the oyster shell in concrete for the fireplace. And you've got the coffered ceilings, giving it a bit of a luxurious feel. Multi-million-dollar view here. And gourmet kitchen. I could deal with this. Comment down below. Tell me what you think of this particular house. And again, if you want to see the rest of the photos, just Google the address and you can see the rest on your own. All right, let's move on. Oh, okay. We're back in Gascoigne Bluff. So we've got another one here. And again, I didn't think more than one or two would hit the market. This one is 3.5 acres, 7,556 square feet. And this one, let's see, was on the market for $5,625,000 and sold for $5,250,000. and it was only on the market for 7 days. So remember when I told you that if you see a Gascoigne Bluff piece of property, it's going to go quick. And if that's in your price point, you better be ready to jump on it quickly. Love the twilight photos, beautiful aerial views here, and you've got your own private dock. Absolutely gorgeous entryway here. Well, call me crazy, but this might be the same house. I think it is. Let's look again. 91 Gascoigne Bluff. Yeah, they put this listing in twice. So I guess, like I said, not many come on the market. I don't know why they put this listing in twice, but they did. So anyway, that just proves that not many in Gascoigne Bluff come on the market. So forgive me for not catching that earlier, but yeah, you've got the same property twice there. Moving on to the next one. This is a little house right off of right down by May River Road and kind of in the historic area. And again, this is on 3.79 acres. And let me just show you where this is at. So again, this is May River Road. We were just looking at Gascoigne Bluff here a minute ago, but it's right here near downtown. And it's actually a pretty big lot, but it's an older home, and it's right here off of 46, known as May River Road, like I said, and it's only a 1,300 square foot home. But because the land is so valuable in and around Bluffton, it definitely fetched a premium. And let's see what it sold for. It's only a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house built in 1965. And this was on the market for $900,000 and it sold for $899,000, and it sold in only 4 days. So it sold very quickly. Let's look at a few photos. Now, my opinion is they're probably going to redo this house, looking for the highest and best value. Probably the lot is the most important thing on this one. You've got the gated entry here. And this is kind of what Bluffton used to look like before all the development came in. So this is a little taste of history. Just a cute old house, but definitely would be incredible if you give it a facelift, or even if you just want, kind of a little cottage down by the May River. This would suit the bill. Again, this is not any kind of super luxury home, but still fetching a premium because of the location near Old Town, near May River Road, and the lot size. All right, let's keep moving on. And this one right here, 76 Pine View Drive. And this is on a tidal creek on Rosedew Creek. And this was 3,705 square feet, 4.2 acres. And this one has its own private dock. Let's swing down, and this one was listed at 1.9 million and sold for 1,897,000. 0 days on the market. So they probably had a private sale going on here, and then they just put it in the MLS after they sold it, so that the agent could get credit for selling this thing. But we'll look at a few of the photos here. It's got the pier head out here. You've got 3 levels of living. It's in a little private neighborhood called May River Plantation. There's no gate going into this neighborhood, but it is a very private area. They do have their own little private boat ramp. They have a day dock with 24/7 deep water access. And this house does have its own tidal dock. You have to time it going in and out. But it was a beautiful home. I've been in this house many times. And this one actually had an in-law suite and an elevator, and just absolutely gorgeous home. But anyway, this one is coming in just under 2 million, and it is on 4.2 acres. So let's go to our last one. Now, this last one, unfortunately, does not give us any photos. So you're going to have to use your imagination. And some agents do pull their photos down after they've sold a home. That way they just kind of keep it private for the new owners, so people aren't going through browsing through the photos. But this is in Colleton River. This is a exclusive private golf club community. They've got 2 golf courses out there. They've got fitness centers. They've got pools. It's probably, I don't know, I might go as far as to say the most exclusive golf club in the Bluffton area. If you're just focused on golf, they've got 2 completely different golf courses, the Nicholas and the Dye course. And we can't look at any photos, but you can see it had 9.76 acres, which is very unique for this particular neighborhood. You don't normally see that. It says they've got a 24/7 deep water dock with their own boat lift. And this one is 6 bedrooms, 6 full baths, 6 half baths. They had it listed for 10 million and they sold it for 7,550,000, but it took them 838 days. So it took them more than 2 years to get this thing sold, but definitely a something that you could pass down from generation to generation. This is a showpiece of a property. So now we're going to move on to Jasper County. And Jasper County is Ridgeland and Hardyville are the two towns in Jasper County. And it's kind of the rural next door neighbor of Bluffton. So Bluffton is right in this area right here. Hilton Head is right here. And Jasper County is just up I-95 and this kind of area in here. And so you're going to get a lot more for your money just because you're 20 minutes away from Bluffton, and it is a more rural county. So you're going to get more places with land, and you're going to get a lot better prices. And you'll see that here when I go to the results. Not as grand of properties, but if you just want a little more rural lifestyle and a little bit more land, again, there's only 7 properties that had over 3 acres that sold in the past year, but let's take a look at them. All right, so this first one, 6709 Lowcountry Drive, had 9.49 acres, and the home itself was 1,980 square feet, and it was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. And let's see what it sold for. So listed at $527,500 and sold for $497,500, and it only took 48 days to get it sold. And let's look at a few of the photos. So it's a small house, got a little carport here, actually a mobile home. So believe it or not, you're primarily paying for the land on this one. But still pretty cute. You could definitely have your 4-wheelers out here, your boats, your RV, all the stuff that you want. So you don't have to have a $5 million budget if you want some land. Here's a very nice mobile home and in a very quiet area out here in Ridgeland. Let's move on to the next one. 309 Honey Hill Circle. I love Honey Hill. I'm actually looking at a couple of lots in there right now, thinking about investing in some. I'll tell you why I like it, but this particular lot was 5.14 acres. The house itself was only 1,550 square feet, so a pretty small house. And it's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 2018, and let's see what it sold for. So it was priced at $649,900, sold for $647,000 in 41 days. And let's look at a few of the photos here. Very cute little low country house, has a nice porch on it, beautiful surroundings, very quiet out here. You've got the fence and nice landscaping. I love that porch. It's got hardy plank siding, so that is more upscale. It's got the Savannah bricks around the fireplace, hardwood floors, and for a smaller family or just a couple, or a single person, I mean, definitely this is plenty of space. Nice open concept kitchen and living space. And you can research this one and look at it in a little more detail. But let me pop into Honey Hill. I just want to show you why I like this place. This is actually pretty close to where I live, but you've got this road called Old House Road that comes off of 462, and 462, if I zoom out, 462 comes down here and connects back in to Bluffton. But after you turn off of 462, you make a left on Old House Road, which is also known as 336, and you're heading into downtown Ridgeland. But before you get there, you get to this Honey Hill neighborhood, and it's basically a big circle that goes around, and all the homes in here are over 5-acre lots, and it is controlled by covenants, meaning you can't put mobile homes in here. You can't do certain things. You can't run like a business out of here or anything. but it still gives you enough freedom that you can, park your boats and RVs. And if you have a tractor or something like that, you can put it out there. So it gives you the rural lifestyle, but it does have some covenants in place to protect your property from people doing crazy stuff out there and, you know, having junk cars and junk yards and that sort of thing. So Honey Hill is a great neighborhood. If you want like little to no POA, you want a few rules just to kind of protect the community. And pretty reasonable prices out here. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one is out off a Tarboro Road, which is a little further out into the country in Ridgeland. And this one actually was 48.8 acres. So lots of land. This might be the biggest one land-wise out of everything we're going to look at. But this was 5,600 square feet. And this is 6 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 3 half bath, built in 1988. And let's see, this one was on the market for $1,495,000, sold for $1,347,000, and it was on the market for 184 days. Let's just see what you get. Again, the house is nice, don't get me wrong, but I think it's all about the land and having all that freedom out there. But you have a beautiful front porch here overlooking your 48 acres. You've got the double stacked porches, which is definitely very southern. You've got the hardwood floors, a little bit dated in here, but not bad. You've got some wallpaper. And definitely if you gave this thing a little bit of fluff and puff and got rid of the popcorn ceilings and everything, it could be, I mean, it is a nice house, but it could be super nice. And you can't complain about 48 acres. Again, there's not a lot of these out there, but they do come up once in a while. So if that's something you're looking for, just keep in mind that these do exist sometimes. Moving on, this is real close to me. This is on Bees Creek Road, 2827 Bees Creek Road. And this is a 2,008 square feet on 4.1 acres. And it looks like it's been renovated a little bit is what they're saying. And let me look here. So it was originally listed for $1,249,000, sold for $1 million in 114 days. Little 3-bedroom, 3-bath home. But I think this one also, this one had a 30 by 30 garage. It had a pool cabana, had a pool, saltwater pool, workshop. So it had some other things on the property besides this smaller house. So it is a fairly small little house here, but you've got the garage space over here and nice flooring in here. It's been updated. I was actually friends with the guy who sold this property, and they did a really great job redoing this. And I was really happy to see him get what they got for it price-wise, because that's great for the neighborhood. I actually live real close to this, so it's good for my property value. But beautiful, beautiful tub here, beautiful shower. And again, if you want to look at the rest of this, just log in and look up this address online. Let me show you where Bees Creek is. So if I zoom out on the map here, this is downtown Ridgeland right here, which is kind of a historic little town dating back to the 1950s and even beyond that. And then just over here, this road is called Bees Creek Road that runs this way. And it's a nice road. There's a lot of properties in here. If you look, a lot of these are like 2, 3, 4, 5 acre properties along here. They don't change hands very often, but when they do, it gives you that opportunity for a little bit extra breathing room. All right, Langfordville Road. So it looks like we have another mobile home here, but it is on 3 acres, which is nice. 1,920 square feet. And this one sold for, it was on the market for 270,000, sold for 235,000 in 79 days. And so if you want a mobile home and you want some land, that kind of gives you your price point and gives you a little bit of freedom where you can, again, have a 4-wheeler or dirt bike or, a tractor, have a garden, live a little bit of that rural lifestyle. All right, Tickton Hall. I love it out at Tickton Hall. I love this area. This one is on 14.31 acres and 2,555 square feet. Let's see what it sold for. This one was on the market. They almost got full price. So $1,399,950 and sold for 1,389,950. Took them 375 days to get it done. And let's see here. I love this house. Beautiful front porch, big yard. You've got these gorgeous oak trees, specimen oaks with the Spanish moss, and surrounded by forest and beautiful flooring in here. Open kitchen, kind of a smaller kitchen, but again, it's all about the outdoor space. You've got an updated shower. Pretty nice. I could deal with that. And let me show you where this is at because I do like the Tickton Hall area. Again, you're not going to see many houses come on the market, but there are some out here on Tickton Hall Road that have their own docks, which is a huge draw. So that's definitely a place someday I wouldn't mind having a second property or a weekend house. Because there's no rules or POA out here, you can kind of do whatever the heck you want. It is rural feeling. They do have boat ramps down here. And this particular one did not have its own dock, but it is back in this Tickton Hall area. And if I zoom out here, you'll see Tickton Hall connects to Bowlin Hall, and Bowlin Hall has a boat ramp right down here at the end on the river. And this is actually where I put my boat in. And this will get me to Hilton Head in about 35 minutes on my boat. I can actually get to Hilton Head and go out to lunch faster by putting in here at Bowlin Hall than if I drive over from my house. And then this connects over to 462, which is also called Lowcountry Drive. And if I just follow 462 down, you'll see that it connects right back into 170, which goes out to Beaufort this way and connects right back here into Highway 278. And you're right back in the heart of Bluffton. All right. And then the last one here is another Langfordville property, which we looked at another Langfordville property, but this one is on 11.66 acres, 2,389 square feet. And this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home built in 2012. And let's see, this was on the market for 739,000, sold for 710,000. Sold in 64 days and has its own private gate, brick home, 2-car garage, nice, beautiful property surrounded by trees. And you got I think this is one of these electric fireplaces, but nice, very, very cute house. Very nice. So that basically wraps up Jasper County. Now we've moved on to Hilton Head Island. Now I had to change my criteria a little bit because when I had my criteria set at 3+ acres, there was actually 0 homes that sold in Hilton Head Island that had over 3 acres. So I had to change it to anything with over an acre. That was the only way I could do it. So anything with over an acre in Hilton Head Island, we had 20 results in the past year. So I'll just zoom through these really quick because I don't want to spend too terribly much time on the smaller lots. But this one, 1.69 acres. This is in Spanish Wells, which is a beautiful area with a lot of luxury homes. And this is a 7,492 square foot home. And this one sold for 4.5 million. Let's just look at a few photos. Overlooking the river, private pool, private dock, little putting area. Gorgeous. Again, you want to see the rest of these, just look the address up in your favorite real estate app. Here's 30 Widewater Road. This is also in Spanish Wells. All right, same neighborhood. Let me show you where Spanish Wells is at since we're got a couple of these properties. So Spanish Wells is this area right here. And there's actually a peninsula that goes out right here, and it's called Brams Point Road. And these are some of the most expensive homes in all of Hilton Head Island. And they are bigger lots, and most of them have their own private docks on the water, as you can see. And if I zoom out, you can see where it's at on the island. So it's right when you come on the island, it's over in this area right here. And let's just look at a couple of photos. So you've got your private pool, absolutely gorgeous, multi-million dollar view. Moss Creek is actually over on the Bluffton side of the bridge. So if I zoom out here, this is a private golf course community. Here's Hilton Head Island, but it's actually over here on the Bluffton side, but it still has a Hilton Head address. Lots of great amenities. They've got their own marina, but this is a 1.23 acre property, 4,800 square feet. 1.895. I'm just going to run through these quickly. I'm not going to go into as much detail. This is in Shipyard. This is a 1.2 acre property, priced at $1,175,000 for a 1,975 square foot home. I'll give you a quick peek. Since these aren't super big lots, again, I'm not spending a lot of time here. Sea Pines. Now, this one is 1.228 acres, 6,243 square feet. And this one was priced $8,499,000. I'll give you a quick little peek at it. They only gave us one photo anyway, so all right, this one is in Hilton Head Plantation, and this was 1.21 acres and 5,074 square feet, priced at $2,995,000. Very nice view. I could do that. Moss Creek, again, that was the one over on the Bluffton side of the bridge, 3.75 million on 1.2 acres. Spanish Wells, remember we talked about that? That's the one with the peninsula, and this is on 1.187 acres, 5,128 square feet, and priced at 5.495 million. Give you a quick little taste here. Okay. This one is also Hilton Head Plantation, 1.17 acres, 2,572 square foot home, built in 1989, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and priced at 1.4 million. Kind of older home, but still very nice. All right. This one is in Hilton Head Plantation on just over an acre of land, 4,705 square foot home, priced at 1.999900. We're back out in Spanish Wells. I think you guys are starting to see a theme here. So if you want the bigger lots, Spanish Wells is a good place to look. So Spanish Wells, 1.15 acres, 4,769 square feet, priced at $3,150,000. Again, all these homes already sold. So you can't buy these, but there are other ones that are on the market and will be coming on the market if this is what you're looking for. This one has the private dock, which is gorgeous. Love it. All right, back in Moss Creek, which is over on the Bluffton side of the bridge, 1.299 on just over an acre of land. Again, Moss Creek. So again, we're seeing Moss Creek and we're seeing Spanish Wells. They keep popping up. Just over an acre on this one for just over $1 million. And this one is in Port Royal. So we're in a different area on the island here. So let me show you where it's at. So this is the Port Royal neighborhood, kind of down on the heel of the island. So again, the island looks kind of like a shoe. And we always say the toe of the shoe is Sea Pines Resort. Down here on the heel of the shoe is Port Royal. And this one is on just over an acre of land. And this was priced at 3.9 million, 4,400 square feet. We'll give you a couple of photos here so you can get a feel for the architectural style available. Right near the ocean. It's got the nice southern front porch. It's got a private swimming pool. Very nice. And the Savannah bricks around the fireplace. All right, this one, Moss Creek, again, um, on the Bluffton side of the bridge, which we talked about, 2.85 million on just over an acre of land. This one's out in Sea Pines, which again, if I look at the map, that is on the this entire side of the island down here is all Sea Pines Resort. They do allow some short-term rentals in here. It's one of the areas on the island where they do allow that. Just over an acre of land, 2,873 square feet, priced at $1.5 million. And let's just see what year this was built. 1970. So Sea Pines was the first area to be developed on the island. They started back in the 1950s. So gorgeous homes, but a lot of times you're going to see a lot older homes. And you can see in here, this is definitely circa 1970, just from the style and the furnishings and everything. But a lot of people do facelifts on these, and they just turn out absolutely gorgeous. So this one, Windmill Harbor, on one just over an acre of land. Windmill Harbor has its own private marina with its own lock system. It's one of the few areas that has that. So it's kind of as you're coming onto Hilton Head Island, it's its own private island right here. And here you can see this private marina that has its own lock system right here. So the water level inside this marina always stays constant. And this one was priced at 1,675,000. And Wexford. All right, we haven't talked about Wexford, but Wexford is a private golf club community on Hilton Head Island, and they also have their own marina with their own lock system, keeping the water at a constant level. And it's saying that this one was an acre, but it's two lots that are put together to make that acre. You don't normally see that big of a lot in Wexford, but this one priced at 2.87 million. Very beautiful. It's got the dual staircase going up. It's got the private pool. And a lot of these homes also, this one doesn't, but a lot of them have their own dockage behind the house. If you want to keep your own boat or yacht behind your house, that is an option here. So we are done with Hilton Head, and we're going to move on to our last area. All right. So now we are looking at Ladies Island and Beaufort. And Ladies Island and Beaufort are out here. So this area out here is Beaufort, and this area out here is called Ladies Island. We kind of refer to all this as the Beaufort area though, because it's across the bridge from Bluffton and Hilton Head. And when I went 3 acres plus, there was actually only 2 listings. So I'm just going to zoom through these real quick so you can see that there is some options, but not many out here. This one is 58 Little Capers Road out in Beaufort, and this is on just over 3 acres. And it's a small house, so only 1,734 square feet, built in 1985, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, priced at 724,000. Let's see. Actually, they started this thing at 1.1 million and looks like they closed at 650,000. So major price reduction. Only 51 days on the market. Somebody did a good job negotiating that deal down. But let's take a look. It's got a marsh view here. Big lot. And looks like it has access to some private islands here, which is kind of cool, connected to the house. So that's really unique and neat. I'm surprised I never saw this house when it was on the market. Looks like maybe an old dock that fell down, so maybe you could reestablish that dock going out to the second private island. But that's pretty interesting that you get your own private island attached to the house. And there's the house. So again, um, pretty interesting. And then the other one is here in Beaufort as well. This is in an area called Seabrook, and this one was on 3.06 acres, 1,904 square feet. Let's see what it is. 4 bedroom, 2 bath, and they have it sold at 314,000. And this is a little mobile home out there. So again, if you want some privacy, this is kind of out in a little further out. I wouldn't say the boonies, but it is a little further out. Um, so right here, now this is actually miscategorized. So unfortunately, the real estate agent put it in the wrong place. Seabrook is right here. So this is actually where that house sold, that mobile home. It's out in Seabrook in this area, which is out by the air station, which is a little bit further out from Beaufort and Ladies Island. It's pretty rural out there. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. We looked at a lot of properties, and as you can see, there's not that many homes that come with big lots and acreage out here. They do come on the market sometimes. If that's what you want, you got to be ready to go. And if you want it over in Bluffton or Hilton Head, you kind of have to have a pretty thick pocketbook. You have to have a pretty good checkbook to get that deal done. But if you're willing to look out in Jasper County, like Ridgeland or Hardyville, or even in Beaufort, you might get some of that land for a little bit less money, something that's a little bit more affordable. Anyway, if you want help finding your own low country lifestyle, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text, or you can even book a Zoom call, all in the description below. And if you want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest happening here, be sure and like, subscribe, and tap that bell for notifications so you'll know every time I drop a new video. It's been an absolute pleasure spending time with you today. I hope to meet you in person at some point, but if not, I will at least see you on the next video.